Voters in Tunisia are heading to the polls in just a few hours' time to elect the country's next leader. This election is seen as a milestone. It is the first democratic presidential vote since Tunisia's revolution 4 years ago. And for more now, we're joined here in our studio by William Lawrence. He's a political analyst and professor at George Washington University's Elliott School for International Affairs. Thank you and welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, all eyes on Tunisia. What is the significance of this election, and especially between the Islamists and the secular factions?
This is very important for Tunisia, very important for the region, and very important for the whole Muslim world and for the globe, because we haven't seen a successful Arab democracy that lasted this long, that seemed to have such strong institutions. And for the Muslim world, there are other democracies, but this is a very important message that democracy can work in that part of the world, and as a rampart against extremism.
Beji Caid Essebsi is 88 years old, and he is the front runner right now. Is this because his party won the most seats in the legislative election in October?
No, it's the opposite. His party won the elections because he is who he is.
I see.
And he's running very much on a prestige of Tunisia and taking Tunisia back to its earlier glory platform. And that has appealed to Tunisians in a time of economic stress, in a time of security stress, and in a time where they were governed by a coalition of parties, including an Islamist party, that some Tunisians found threatening.
So there's a couple of dozen candidates right now. If he does win, or even gets in the runoff, we should say, would it be too much power if he had the legislative and the executive branches?
Yes, because the second most powerful party didn't run a candidate. And so they could really run the table here, and they would control what the Tunisians call the three presidencies, because they call the head of government, the head of parliament, and the head of the state. They call them all presidents. And if they control all three, that means they can do things like pass all the laws that grow out of the new constitution and in a certain way. They can control the constitutional court, which interprets how the constitution is controlled. So they're going to have an awful lot of power.
Now, the Islamist Party Ennahda ruled for 2 years after the revolution. They don't have a candidate right now, but they're focusing on the legislature. Moncrief Marzouki with the Congress Republic, he's a challenger. He's hoping to get some of that support. What are the odds of that?
They're not supporting him. In fact, there was even rumors today of a new deal being struck between the two largest parties about a coalition government if things go the way people expect them to go. But a lot of the rank and file of the Ennahda party, the Islamist party, and a lot of young Tunisians support Marzouki because for them he represents the revolution. So for many Tunisians, this is the revolution against the old regime. And in that, the rank and file are supporting him.
So you believe that the runoff is probably a given?
It's likely. And it'll be interesting to see what comes out of the negotiations that are going on now. I suspect there's probably a half dozen Tunisians who may think that they're going to be the next prime minister, and may be surprised to find out that the deals being made behind the scenes lead to someone else.
Certainly will be exciting to see. William Lawrence, thank you. As always, we appreciate you coming in.
You're very welcome.
All righty.